Good morning, YouTube. It's me, Quarterdeck Arcade. I'm your host, Pete. It's a great day here today in southeastern Wisconsin. Cooler temperatures. Humidity is a little bit higher than I really want it. But anyway, I hope the day's going well for you so far. It's Sunday morning, and it's time for our usual get-together and chat. I'm sorry I wasn't here last weekend, but I thought, everybody else is taking the 4th of July holiday off. Why not me? So I used Sunday as a chill day and pretty much did my own thing. So I'm refreshed. I'm back, and here I am. So I'm glad that you're all with me. Let's talk about a few things, what we're going to talk about today. I really don't have a game plan for the entire show. We're just kind of going to go off the cuff here. I do want to touch on a couple of things. One being the xArcade, the Arcade 2 TV XR update kit that's coming out. And then I'll talk about a few things that I did here in the arcade over the last couple of weeks, what I want to do, what I've been doing, that kind of thing. It's week 9 now today, as of today, of my marathon training. So I'm halfway through now, or at the end of this week, I'll be halfway through. So training's going well. I had a 15-mile long run outside on Saturday. I was pretty beat after that. But we did manage to go see Superman. Oh, I want to give you my thoughts on Superman as well. And F1, since I went and saw that on the 4th of July weekend. And let's see. So yeah, marathon training is going really well. I took it really easy today, just a light strength workout. And I did a short bike ride, 10 miles. So didn't really exert myself too much today. The week starts off again tomorrow with a 4-mile run, and it's supposed to be a step back week for me. My training plan that I uses like step back weeks sprinkled in between or in the middle of training so that you're not totally overwhelmed. But rest assured, in the back half of this marathon training, I'm going to get killed with the mileage. So next weekend, next Saturday, I only have 11-mile run. You guys are probably laughing when I say only, but for me, 11 miles is really easy. So I'm glad that next weekend's going to be light. The gal and I already have plans for next weekend. We're going to go to the Waukesha County Fair. We love going to fairs. I love eating food on a stick. And she just loves going around and seeing things, the bright, pretty lights. And we don't go on any rides or anything, but her main thing when we go to county fairs or any fair really is the animals. She wants to see the animals. So we do that. We'll do that next Saturday. Show note, 2 weeks. I'll be here next weekend, but the week after that is Brickyard 400 weekend. And as you guys know, I am out of town that weekend. I will be leaving Thursday for Indianapolis and picking up my media credentials and covering or assisting with coverage of the races there, the Brickyard 400 weekend. So I won't be here in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today, there will be no show because I will be in Indianapolis. Also that weekend, I have a 17-mile run. I don't know how I'm gonna squeeze that in. I've put some feelers out to the folks in Indianapolis trying to figure out if there's a long trail, flat trail that I can run on for training down there while I'm in Indianapolis, or I may switch the long run that week to um, here the Thursday before I leave. Now, will I want to drive 300 miles to Indianapolis on 15-mile or 17-mile legs? Who knows? I'll be exhausted after that run, I'm pretty sure. So a long drive like that will probably kill me. We'll see. Another note about my truck. I picked up my truck. Didn't really have a chance to talk about that, but I picked it up and I absolutely love it. Best purchase I ever made. I've only purchased cars new twice in my entire life. The first time was back in the early 90s, and the second time was 2 weeks ago when I picked up my truck. And gotta say, best purchase, man. Best purchasing experience. No pressure at the dealer. Everything went smooth. It was long, you know. It still took like 3 hours to do all the paperwork, but you know that's true of any car purchase you make. You're going to be in there filling out paperwork forever. But I got to say, it was the best car purchase experience I've ever had. So, anyway, so yeah, truck's great. It needs a wash though. Already after 2 weeks, I'm going to get it signed up for a car wash program, so I can keep it clean and keep all the gunk off the underbody and stuff like that. So let's say hello. I can't even talk. Been gone for 2 weeks and I lost my ability to talk. I got a peanut stuck in my mouth. Let's say hello to everybody. Ted Adam Green is here. Good to see you as always, Ted. Morning. Hockey Town is here as well. Yes, I got next. Thank you. Yeah. I don't remember where I got that. I think I pulled that right off of YouTube's clips, media availability that they have. Let's see. Ted's here still. Thank you. I was going to talk about that. So as you can see behind me up here, I've got the new on-air sign. Picked that up. I bought that during Prime Days on Amazon. So it was, I don't know, it was some percentage off. So I thought, well, hey, that'd be cool to have. So I picked that up. The Crossdeck Arcade 2021 sign I got from Etsy from Neon Chili. And then, of course, you see the Let's Go sign back there. Got that from Hobby Lobby. And we were just in Hobby Lobby last night. And they have more of those. So if you guys want a Let's Go sign, it's $16 at Hobby Lobby. By all means, hit them up because they're back in stock, at least at my Hobby Lobby. There's like 3 of them there. So the other thing I'll say about the signs is notice how they're not blurry. That has been dogging me since day one I started streaming. I couldn't figure out how to get the lights to not be blurry. I thought it was the camera. It's not the camera. I tried tweaking all the camera settings, ISO settings, you name it. Lighting, front lighting here. Tried adjusting everything. Just couldn't get the neon lights to cooperate until I found a product. I'll pull it out here. So on Amazon, and I don't have links. Like I said, I'm flying by the seat of my pants this morning because I've been really busy. Came down here. I do my bills like every 2 weeks, so I do my budget and all that. So if I can get this box open, oh, there it is. So here's what I found, and I have 2 different types of these. These are dimmer switches, inline dimmer switches. It's kind of, let me see if I hold this up. It's kind of dark in here. So what you got here is your basic dial. You can hear the clicking there. And then you could tone the brightness down on whatever thing is connected, whatever this thing is connected to. So the quarterdeck arcade orientation. The quarterdeck arcade sign is a round connector, which is what I put. I put one of these on that. And I'm able to dial down the brightness of the sign all the way. And pretty much to get them to appear the way you see them now, I had to turn it down all the way until it's basically off. So when I'm not doing a stream, I'll turn them back up full throttle so they are nice and bright. They light up the arcade room really nice. But the other version of this I have, same kind of dial, but it's USB. So the let's go and the on air sign are USB, same difference. So I want to dial down the power to the LED sign to the point where it's readable on camera. And that's what I do. So just before I went live here, I went back there and I adjusted them down, and then I came over, looked at the shot on my OBS software. Looks good. So here we are. You can see the signs. So yeah, artwork changes. I also did, I mentioned we were at Hobby Lobby. We also went to Menards. Y'all caught PD7's video the other day. He was in a Menards, and I don't have it on any camera view. Well, maybe I do. Let's try camera 1. Yeah, you can kind of see it here. So it's dark in here now, but all the way in the back on the upper left part of the screen there next to the pinball, you can see a Snoopy or a Peanuts clock. And that thing chimes on the hour every hour. It won't do it in dark. It has an automatic light sensor so that if the room's dark, it won't make any noise. So I didn't hear it chime off at 10 because I have the house lights off here in the arcade. So I'm guessing the light sensor doesn't detect any physical presence, so it's not gonna announce the Linus and Lucy theme every hour on the hour. So that was a pretty cool pickup from Hobby Lobby. I also moved my Galaga, and you can't see it on just above that Peanuts clock is my Galaga LED, Galaga ship LED. And so I moved that. I took it off the pole that's right behind me. This pole right over my shoulder here. I had the Galaga thing there because the wall used to be right up by that pole. And now that the wall's pushed back, I don't want to put the LED art there anymore. So I moved it. So some artwork switching around. I took down one of my Pac-Man pieces of art, and I have to figure out a place to put it. I think for now I'm just going to put it on the back wall over here. But I need more 3M artwork hanger, adhesive artwork, Velcro stuff. So I get those from Walmart. I got to make a Walmart trip after the stream here anyway to pick up a few things. So that's on my list. So yeah, continuing on with the chat. Let's see. Stock Jock is here, buddy. Man, let's talk about Stock Jock. A gentleman and a scholar. That guy has hooked me up. He sent me before. He sent me a package full of light replacements for my harness in the Centipede. So I still have 2 bulbs here, but he's sending me. But he's also I have a couple more cabinets to do where I have to do the coin door lit mod. So Stock Jock, thank you so much for sending that stuff out to me and sending me those links. I really appreciate it. So Stock Jock wants me to replay the intro. Good morning to you, Stock Jock. No, we're not going to do that. It's the same intro I used before. You've heard it before. Gramps Arcade is here. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Hockeytown says it's a sharp truck. Yes, it is. Maybe I'll pull up some pictures. I don't have any pictures downloaded for the stream today. Ted says congrats. Thank you. And also Stock Jock got me this shirt. So just a wonderful guy in the community. And I got to meet him once. I believe that was at the Pinball Expo. But everybody knows, I think I had a short day there and then I had to head out. So hopefully next event, I'll be able to catch up with some people and spend more time getting to know everybody. Sony 4K is here. Welcome, Sony 4K. Tell Danny. I assume you're talking about the signage dimmers that I'm using now. Oh, they make a remote control version. That's awesome. I might look into that. Because right now what I did back there is I took some of those artwork hanging things that I use and I cut them into small pieces and I put them on the back of the controls and they're up at like a height that I can reach them behind the cabinets and just turn them. So that works. But I didn't know they made a remote control version. Thank you, Ted. I thought it was pretty ingenious. Buy stuff LCD marquees. No. But I'll be honest, I'm not up to speed on those. Are they on the website? I don't see anything. So let me know. Well, you know, with Arcade 1-Up drying up, I mean, I know people that are in the home arcade hobby. He's kind of having to step to other things because his goal is to make a video a day. So he's just talking about whatever he can talk about, things that interest him, and more power to him. I still watch him. I am down to one Arcade 1-Up stool, if you can believe it. It's the Tron stool. It goes with the Tron cabinet. So I move it around as I need to, and that's all I need, really. Yeah, I got to look into that. I don't recall seeing any posts by Buy Stuff Arcades on Facebook or anything about that. Meatball Saucy is here. Welcome. I see you online all the time in VR. And that's another thing. I've been doing a lot of VR, and I've been made it. It's really been a concerted effort to spend as much time down here as I can. When I work from home, I come down here in the arcade. One of the first things I do when I'm working from home is I come down in the morning and I fire everything up. So when I need to take a 15-minute break, I'm down here playing something. But on the days that so the arcade doesn't get much use on the days that I'm working off site because it's such a long day and there's no time between by the time I eat dinner and then we're going to bed. So I get down here as much as I can. So when usually on those days when I'm working off site, I come home and I'll slap on the VR headset and spend a little time, either play around a golf or around a pinball. But lately, the game I've really been getting into is DT. What's it called? DT Racing. Downtown. It's a racing game, and I've gotten really into that. I'm trying to get better at it. Trying to build up my points and stuff so I can get some different racing suits and different car styles. But I'm having a lot of fun in that game, and I would love to do. I did get into the multiplayer beta of that, but every time I go in to that game in the multiplayer section, there's nobody there. There's nobody to race against. Well, I would love to try the multiplayer. So any of you that have headsets out there, let me find the exact name of the game. Downtown Club. That's what it's called. So look for it on your MetaQuest headsets, and they do have some text or a browser that you or web page you can go to in game that will talk about the multiplayer beta. So if you have to go and download another version of the, you have to change a setting in the app store for the game to point to a different source of the code, which is the beta code, which we will allow you to download the multiplayer version of Downtown Club, and then you can get into the multiplayer test. But I think it would be fun if I could hook up and play or get a few people in the online community here into a multiplayer game. That'd be pretty cool. I still want to play golf with somebody. I granted I'm not up late at night. The one thing I will mention is my gal is going out of town for a week in August, and I might be able to stay up late on those days. We'll see. All right, Cornercade is here. Welcome, Cornercade. Your nose was itching. Somebody was talking about you. Yeah. Well, let's see who else is here. TV on the wall. Oh, that TV right here. That's just a TV on a tripod stand, and my xArcade unit is right in front of it. Yeah, man, definitely. I would do that if I could make it work, Stock Jock. But the thing is, even the gal talked about, because that's the weekend that I'm running the marathon. So I'll be in Dayton while you guys are in Cleveland. The race is on Saturday. I'm not going to be in any shape to drive on Saturday after the race. So for me to get to Cleveland is just out of the question. I have to do the marathon. The gal paid for it already, and I'm training for it. So if I don't run it, God willing, I stay healthy. That's my 60th birthday. That was her 60th birthday present to me, is buying me that entry into the marathon. So got to do it. I still got to find a tank, a performance tank that I can customize to celebrate my 60th birthday. I'm going to wear it during the race. Haven't come up with a design yet, but I would love to join you guys in Cleveland. I actually proposed it to the gal to see how she felt about driving, because she's going to be running the half marathon. So she's also going to be very tired, but of course she's not driving, so she could just sleep the entire way. But I think we're both just going to hang out in Dayton for another night and then head back on Sunday. So sorry, I'm not going to see any of you guys in Cleveland. I really want to be there, but running a marathon and 26.2 miles and then driving 3 hours to Cleveland from Dayton just isn't my idea of fun. So I'm going to recover Saturday night in the hotel room and then head out for home on Sunday. Oh, let's see. Danny says, let's go. Oh, yeah. Well, he had one and I had to have one. That's how it worked. I saw that sign on his stream and I thought, damn, that'd be cool to hang on the wall. So I got it. Actually, my screens are like really close to my face right now. That's why you see screen glare. And I'm blind. So if I move the monitors, then I got to go to these. The desk I have here is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of small. I've thought about replacing it, and maybe that's something I'll look into, but it's not something I can do right now. I would love to move things back a little bit, but again, I'd have to start using these. And I like to take them off. Let's see. I could do that. I have, there is a Roku brick over there that I haven't hooked up yet, since I brought the TV back into the arcade. And I could like put a fireplace back there if I wanted to, but right now it's got Wizard of War up. I have a RetroPie box there that's connected to my xArcade unit, and when I'm wanting to play VR pinball, I have to turn that RetroPie box off. So I also have a Chromecast on there too, so that I could stream the VR to it if I wanted to. But oh, this is interesting. Where's this at? I would love to visit that place. Is this just a world or an app, or is it in xArcade's app? I haven't even really done anything with the xArcade arcade. I've only done VR pinball. There's another app that they have that for virtual arcades that I've not even experimented with yet. Good tip. I'll try this. I loved Wendy's hamburgers back in the day, back when Dave Thomas ran things and things weren't stupid. Nowadays, they're just stupid at Wendy's. I won't ever set foot in a Wendy's again unless they resurrect Dave Thomas. I don't know about this statement, because White Castle sells their burgers, which by the way are horrible. Don't buy the frozen White Castle hamburgers. That was White Castle's answer to try all these people saying you need to build a White Castle in my city because I really want it. So they come out with those frozen burgers, and they're literally horrible. I do not recommend. The real thing at an actual White Castle restaurant is the way to go when it comes to eating a White Castle hamburger. And I will say White Castle is doing very well. It's a family-run outfit, run very well. They only expand very sparingly into new markets, and that's why people always, as they migrate to other areas of the country, always complain that there's not a White Castle near them. So yeah, I know. So I'm gonna try and stay up late when my gal's on vacation. Hell, late for me is like 7:30. Well, that's so kind of you. No, it's just not gonna work this time. We'll hook up some other time, for another convention. I am gonna probably go to Pinball Expo again, maybe spend more time there. So we're gonna look into doing that. I don't see his live. I see his live streams usually like 2 or 3 hours after he goes off the air. So because I'm up in the gym, and so that's when I watch his streams on replay. Sometimes he's still up. I remember there was like last week or the week before, I noticed he was still up and online and doing stuff, and like I'm in the gym. Biggie D is here. Welcome, Biggie D. Good to see you. Yeah, Biggie D, I'm gonna try and make it to Pinball Expo, so maybe I'll see you there. And not for the 2 or 3 hours that I had last year. I mean, I was only able to carve out 2 to 3 hours, and I had to head back home. Yep, I sure do, Cornercade. It's about 3 hours. It's about 3 hours. Uh, saying make it work to a guy that's just run 26.2 miles. Guys, I ran 15 miles yesterday and my legs were killing me. Okay. It had me thinking, how in the hell am I going to run 26.2 miles? But that's what training's for. It's supposed to get your body prepared for, and your mind. It's more of a mental thing than physical, a marathon. So it's about getting both things together. Yeah, Biggie D, I don't know if you were here when I mentioned it, but Miguel and I were just in Hobby Lobby last night, and they had 3 more. So they're still stocking them. So check your local Hobby Lobby and see if they have it. I'm sure you can order it online too. We do occasionally. A couple of years ago, we had it really bad. It was really hazy here from Canadian wildfires. But this year, I don't think it's been as bad. We've had a few days where it's been just a slight haze in the air, but no, it hasn't been too bad. Emu VR. Okay, here I'm gonna make a note. Of course. Oh, my desk is a mess. Yeah, I got to rethink the desk situation here. All right, so EMU VR arcade. All right, so I've made a note of it. Definitely is. Oh, come on. It's the onions that sell it for me. Uh, you and my gal would get along because she hates onions. And she hates it when I eat a lot of oniony stuff. Like I had a lot of onions when I had steak last night. I took the gal to Texas Roadhouse. Saturdays are our date days. That's when we do a lot of stuff together. And so we went to Texas Roadhouse and I had a bunch of onions on my steak. And then we usually do this cute thing where she comes over and sits on my side of the table and we take a selfie. And I said, "Kiss me," and she says, "I'm not kissing that till you brush your teeth." Yeah. So yeah, I love onions, and that's the selling point because the whole thing back in the day. I don't know if any of you are familiar with White Castle, but back in the day, in their old Chrome restaurants, they cook their hamburgers right up front, and there's a window, and you could just watch them make the burgers. And the first thing they do is they slather onions on the grill. I mean, they just slather it on there, throw the patties down, and then they cook the patties on one side, they flip them, cook them on the other, and then they put the buns on them for a little bit. Oh, I'm getting hungry now. I might have to take a road trip to White Castle. I actually am in 2 weeks going to go that way, so I'm stopping. Yeah, I like them off the grill too. The gal and I are grilling tonight, so we're gonna have burgers on the grill tonight. So I do like them that way. But yeah, White Castles are an acquired taste. I'll agree. And my favorite burger at a fast food place is I wouldn't really call this place a fast food place, but it kind of is. It's Red Robin. I love Red Robin burgers. They're just awesome. Yeah, I hope so. I haven't marked it off in my calendar yet, but I'd like to take a day off, maybe 2, and come down there because it's in driving distance. You're tearing up the last time I went down to Indianapolis for the 500. They're really ripping up the that side of 294, the Chicago Loop, and so hopefully it's not too difficult to get to this year. Well, I've driven down to Indianapolis 3 times already this year, and my 4th will be in 2 weeks. So that's about a 5-hour drive. I have a Peloton training coach that says it doesn't matter how far or how long you go as long as you're just moving. I love that gal. Bex Gentry on Peloton. If you guys have a Peloton treadmill or bike, or even if you just use the app for its classes like I do, I highly recommend Bex Gentry. She's awesome. But she always says, it doesn't matter how far you go, just keep moving. But she's also the gal that runs 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. Yes, they do that every year. And she did that last year, and I was so amazed. I don't know how that woman did it, but she ran a marathon, and she ran them right around, I think they were sub 3. No, you're a little bit over 3 hours. So she ran them quick for running 7 marathons in 7 days. Yeah, that's something I need to look into, and I probably should have did it for while Prime Days was going on. I need to build a PC. I want to build a PC for pinball, but also for other gaming as well. I have on that over my shoulder there. You can see the At Games HD next to the 4KP, and I put the board in, and I put all the cabling in, even drill a hole to run the cables through to attach a PC to the At Games HD, but I never got around to putting together a PC for it. And that's what I need to do. I need to spend more time on stuff like that. I wholeheartedly agree. It's our favorite steak place. Although yesterday they kind of failed me a couple of times. But yeah, sometimes you have those bad trips. But overall, most of the time when we go there, awesome. Late night live Discord. Well, okay, now I've got to make another note. You guys are feeding me stuff to check out here. Speaking of Discord, speaking of Discord, I've been trying to. I've kind of made it my mid-year resolution to do more Discord, and be more present in Discord, because I will be the first to admit, I just don't get in there enough, and on top of it, my work blocks Discord. They consider it a security risk. So if I want to go on Discord at work, I got to hop off of the wireless network at work and then jump on just T-Mobile's network. And so I'm really striving. And one of the reasons I'm doing that is because I want to get in on the VPX beta, so that I can install VPX on my 4KP and start taking advantage of more tables. And of course, to do that, one of the steps you have to take through their Discord is you have to participate in it. You have to get to a certain level. So I'm working myself up in levels, trying to do more Discord, comment on more people's stuff, and so you'll see me more in the Discords. You'll more than you ever have, and that's why. Because I really want to participate in the community a little more. So, oh man, yes, I've heard of crystals. In fact, I sought them out when I was in the Navy, and I never found one. Of course, back then I was dumb, didn't know how to use a map, and I wanted to try them, but never did. That's interesting. I've been to Arizona once, and gosh, that was about 20 years ago now. No, 15. About 15 years ago, I was in Arizona. We went to Tucson and one other place that is. Oh no, we were in Tucson, and then we went to San Diego after that. But yeah, it was hot. But yeah, I remember it being. Everybody says it's a dry heat out there. It really is, and so I didn't feel too bad, but I just remember it being really hot. We went to a zoo there, and I can't remember the name of the zoo. I got pictures somewhere. Yeah, I'll get there someday. I'm working on it. Let's see. That's my problem, Ted. You're talking about so much social media. I think that's one of the big reasons I'm not a huge Discord participant is because there's so much going on. Twitter, Facebook, um, Instagram. I got all three of those. I've got a couple of other social apps, and trying to stay up on all of them is just time consuming. And life happens. Uh, one of my number one goals is to always make time for my gal. I always like to spend time with her. That's why I don't do too much during the week, because I come home from work, we just sit, have a nice meal together, catch up on the day, and then we retire for the evening. And so, yeah, am I on Facebook while we're out to dinner a few times here and there? But I try to always focus on her. And actually, yesterday was one of those days where I really concentrated on spending time with her and putting the phone away and keeping it away. So I get it though. Discord is just more social media that just kind of overwhelms you if you're not careful. I mean, there's a lot going on. I look at Discord as being like some of you folks that have been around for a long time will remember IRC, and I'm sure IRC is still out there and in use, but it just kind of reminds me of IRC, but taken to a different level. So, all right, I've caught up on the chat. What was I going to talk about today? Um, so, uh, the tank stick, or not tank stick, I'll keep wanting to call it tank stick. I used to what xArcade. So let's talk about that for a second. So, um, I'm not going to rehash everything that all the other content creators have gone over and brought up pictures and everything of the upgrade kit. But I will say it's something. It's a day one purchase for me. So as soon as that thing hits the street, even if it's like a Kickstarter or whatever, however they release it, if it's just coming out, I'm buying it day one, because I think that the Arcade to TV XR could be better. Is it great as it is? Yes, I wholeheartedly love it. I love playing virtual pinball through it, and I love playing my RetroPie games on it. Uh, the only thing, and guys, I think it was Stock Jock. The only thing is, I've got spinners for this thing, but of course, as you all know, those of you that do virtual pinball through it, is you seat your controls, your MetaQuest controls into those holes. Well, those holes are where the spinners go. So I think somebody mentioned on a stream the other night, I think it was the Arcades Anonymous stream, where they were talking about there's people that are 3D printing holders that go on top of the spinners for your MetaQuest controllers. I'd really like to get a link to those to see if I can get a couple for me, because I really want to put those spinners in. I haven't done it yet because I've been playing a lot of virtual pinball and I want a place to put the controls, the MetaQuest controls. And so I haven't had time to sit and Google it, see if somebody's actually making those already and selling them. But if you all know of a link or something somewhere for those attachments that go slip on the spinners, let me know, because I'd really love to acquire those and put my spinners in. But the changes that they're making, so they're putting in they're putting in the see, now I'm not really qualified to talk about it because I didn't spend time researching it. That's the problem. I need to do more research to be more successful at this. So they're putting in speakers, they're putting in sound. It sounds like you might have to drill a couple of holes here and there. I don't think that'd be a problem for me. And they're putting in a launcher or whatever that thing's called on a pinball. They're putting one of those in the kit. So I'm a tinkerer, like as most of you know, I love tinkering with stuff, and so I'm looking forward to getting that kit and purchasing it. I hope it's not more than $3.99. Matter of fact, I hope it's right around $2.99. That's the price point. It would make it a day one purchase for me. So I'm looking forward to that kit. Are you guys buying it? Day one purchase for you as well? Let me know. And I heard that xArcade is actually running a contest. Actually, I know they're running a contest because I entered it yesterday. I did a couple of the social media things tasks that they wanted you to do to enter. And so I did that. And since I have a personal and a channel account, all of the stuff I did was associated with the channel, not my personal account. So I'm going to enter as many times as I can, and we'll see what happens. I also have an entry in on the pinball guys, the pinball charity. I forget the exact name of the website, but I thought they were supposed to be doing a drawing the end of June, but I don't know if they did. Sorry, I talk a lot and my throat gets really itchy. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the haptic kit. I'm really looking forward to that. There might come a time, and it's not not now, not for a few years anyway, until I move to Florida, where I downscale this arcade and have to decide the few things that I'm going to keep and take with me to Florida. The xArcade is going to be one of them. And so is the FU when it gets here. That's going to go with me. That's good to know, Biggie D. Thank you, Stock Talk. I knew it was you. I'm pretty sure I remember watching that on Arcades Anonymous, you talking about that. And I made a mental note because I was in the middle of weight sets at the gym. When I heard it, I'm like, that sounds like something I want. So I would love to get the information on that. Nice. Even better. But I still would love to throw some coin at the dude for his efforts. Plunger. Yeah. I'm telling you, sometimes I think I'm getting Alzheimer's. There's times names escape me. So anyway, I'm recording these streams so that, if that does happen to me, God forbid, Maybe those old videos of myself will help me remember stuff. That would be cool. I thought about that too. I thought about maybe picking up another unit and maybe selling the one I have rather than have to go through the install process myself. But you know, Stock Check says it's a day one buy for him. Yeah, I agree. Everybody pretty much is. Mike Hawkhurst is here. Welcome, guy. He's saying it's a day one purchase. Yeah. Hockey Town on that front. It's ordered. Joe Zabel's actually posted a picture of it on Facebook the other day in his Facebook account. I don't know if that's why I posed that question. Is that mine? Because I ordered two pieces of artwork. I ordered the Journey set, and I also ordered the Star Trek uh, artwork. And he replied in that Facebook post that he's still finalizing the artwork for Star Trek, and so as soon as he has that done, I'll get the Journey artwork. I do have the Build-A-Cake kits behind me here. I'm waiting for the artwork. That would be cool. That would definitely be cool. Nice. So yeah, I don't know if it was an email or just a post somewhere. Might have been an email xArcade sent out. So look that up. I didn't have time to prep for the show properly today. I did want to come on though. Um, but it's something I wanted to talk about because I think it's an awesome thing that they're putting together, and glad that they're moving forward. It'll be a part of the final product. So it's a product I really believe in. Fun fact: I had one of the original tank sticks. Do y'all remember that? I mean, we're talking 15 years ago. No, longer than 15 years ago. This is in the 90s. xArcade's been around for quite a while. Um, and I had one of the original versions of that had a 9-pin serial cable. Do you guys remember that? Um, I mean, were you even into the home arcade space back then? But I had one of those and I threw it away because I never used it. I threw that away. Man, I'd love to have that back. Just hearing the xArcade name just threw me back to those days. Meatball Saucy says he had one. Yeah. 9-pin serial cable connection. Now everything's USB, but those were the days, man. Yeah. That'd be cool if they got into that space and made a cabinet like that. I'd be intrigued. I'd have to see the final product, but um so yeah, so let's one of the other things I did in the arcade too. I tried to improve the stream a little bit. As you all know, I switched audio. I was using Voice Meter Banana for my audio mixer, my software mixer, and I switched over to Sonar. And it's much easier, but can be a pain in its own right sometimes. Specifically, I have to reboot my computer 3 times in order for the Sonar mixer to start working. I don't know why that is. Haven't had time to look into it either. Oh, I gotta find that video. Yeah. I don't think I don't remember because I was one of the people that were working with MAME many years ago, and I don't know if I had the xArcade back then, and if I tried to get the xArcade to work with MAME. I vaguely remember it, but it's been so long. Oh. So yeah, one of the things I've been trying to do is improve the stream. Think about improving the stream. Uh, I've contemplated upgrading from 720 to 1080p streams. Right now, the tier that I'm paying on, I use Restream IO to do my streams or feed my streams out to YouTube. And so I'm only at the 720 tier, which is why when you guys rewatch my videos, it looks grainy. So I'm contemplating bumping it up to 1080p. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth spending the money at this point. Because all I'm doing, I'm just a hobbyist at this. I'm just meeting with you guys every week and doing fun stuff, and maybe I'll do it. We'll see. So yeah, I actually bought another light. So now I have two lights at a 45-degree angle raining down on me. Whereas before I just had one center light coming down in front of me, and I'm trying to improve the lighting a little bit. Yeah, I know the screen lighting is throwing it all off by being in my face. So um, I'll need to see about fixing that. I'm a guy that likes multiple screens, so I like having real estate where I can move things around. So I've got my laptop screen in front of me. I've got a monitor attached to my laptop on my left and a monitor attached to my laptop on the right. So OBS is up here on this monitor, YouTube and stuff is up over on this one, and then I run Restream on the center when I do my streams. And so I've been looking at doing things a little different, and I might look at another desk that allows me to be back farther. Because you all saw, I don't think I have a camera view that will show it. No, nope, I don't have my streaming station in any camera view. I also thought about adding a camera up high looking down into the arcade over my streaming station, but I haven't done that yet. I do have the camera, I just haven't hooked it up. Anywho, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, we were going to talk. I was going to mention, or we were going to check in and see where Glenn's Kickstarter was. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's share out a window. Let's make the window bigger first. Share. There we go. So he's creeping up to 450 grand. I'd love to see him go over 500 grand though. I've told everybody I know about it. There's one guy at work that seems excited by it. But the particular one that I got was because I wanted all the control panels, so I went for this one, the Mega Pack Build-A-Cade FU19. So there's 35 backers of that right now and 15 left. So plenty to go. So he's doing really well. I'm so happy for him. So 441,824, 231 total backers, 42 days to go. So I expect to see a big charge to my credit card in 42 days. Yeah, and I'm gonna do my part in that. I think Hockey Town. I think I'm gonna um, try and do as much content as I can, or posts or whatever, to help spread the word. Even though, you know, I only have 274 subscribers, so how many of those are considering a GRS purchase or not? Well, I'm very happy for him. Biggie D, yes, I did. It's back over there by the 4KP. You can't see it on this camera, but it's just to the left of the backplane here on the 4KP. Let me take the glare off my screen so my face looks normal. But yeah, there's a Snoopy clock on the wall that's available at Menards. So if you have a Menards near you, there it's not in at least at my Menards, it wasn't in the clock section. It was all the way over on like a seasonal aisle, which is on the other side of the store, and that's where I found it. So you can look it up in the app, and it'll tell you the location where it is, and that's how we found it very quickly. I also, while I was at Menards, bought some cargo straps from my truck in case I go buy a Arcade 1-Up off Marketplace. One of the reasons I got a truck is so I could buy stuff off Marketplace and not have to worry about transporting it. Yeah, Biggie D. Phil on his stream the other day talked about it. Just picked it up. You know how he does things. Sometimes he'll see something on a shelf, he'll pull it up and put it on camera. Well, that was one of the things he showcased while he was in Menards. And my comment on his video was, I need that for my arcade right next to it would look great next to my 4KP. So I went and got one. I think it was like 26, 27 bucks. Can't remember. But I thought it was well worth it to add it to the arcade. It did not chime off here at 11 o'clock because the lights are dim here. So there's as I mentioned, there's a light sensor on it. It will not sound off. Yeah, but you live like an hour and a half away from me. It'd have to be worth my while. You know what I mean? Oh. So yeah, improving the stream, trying to do things there. Anything I can think of to make it better. One of the things I need to do is I'm sick of the plain vanilla overlay, or whatever you want to call it, the background I'm using in Restream.io. I want to spruce things up, because like if I put this camera view up, it's just plain black background, and I need to look into spending more time with OBS to make it look a little tidier and better. And Arcade 1-Up is having that sale going on right now. Who in the live chat has took advantage of Arcade 1-Up's latest round of sales? Did you buy more than one thing to get an additional discount? Did you buy 3 things? Let me know in the chat. I'd like to know. I agree. Phil's a great guy. He really is. Yeah. See, I kind of figure it's that simple. But I need to spruce up my OBS um, scenes a little better. And yeah, I know you can do overlays, but I'm not thrilled with some of the overlays that are freely available, and even the ones that you have to pay for to get. I'm not not thrilled with some of those overlays because they throw in stuff that I don't think I'd ever use in a live stream. So I would want a plain vanilla generic overlay to use with colors and maybe some animated backgrounds and stuff like that. So yeah, we talked about Glenn's Kickstarter and the mod kit for the xArcade thing. Do y'all want to see me do my mods, my final 2 mods? Because I'll gladly move into that because I do want to finish those up. One of the nice things about doing that mod, that Y splitter mod, and I bought all that stuff from Alzheimer's. DIY Retro. I bought the Y splitter and the 3-foot cables. Now, what I discovered, so in that mod where I'm getting rid of the power brick for the riser LED lit panel from Tulsa Arcades, I'm using. Let me go back full screen here. I'm using this Y splitter, so the arcade 1-up power goes here. One of them goes to the PCB, and then the other one, I put the 3-foot extension cable, run it down through the riser into that LED strip. So, but what I found, like on the first cab I did, which was, I think it was, yeah, the Centipede, the 3-foot worked fine. I didn't have to worry about length. The Dig Dug, the Joust, or no, the Dig Dug and the Tron that I did, I had to actually put 2 3-foot extension cables, 2 of these, these are more Y splitters. But I had to put 2 of these 3-foot extension cables together in the same cab in order to get the length that I needed to get to the riser. And so, yeah, here's the 3-foot extension. And I didn't take the time to go see if he had longer than 3-foot cables. But this is what I've been buying from him. DIY Retro. It's funny. The only thing I would even consider buying that they have on that sale right now is the Mortal Kombat 2. I had that in my arcade once, but as you guys recall, I got a deal on that from Synergy, which, by the way, hasn't had any arcade 1-up. They've had the same Mortal Kombat 2 in there for a year now. So they're not selling any arcade 1-ups that they have because, number one, they're beat up to all hell. And yes, Cornicade, I know that's what you tried to tell me, but no, they had good units at one point. They had some solid good units. Some of them were new in box. They didn't look like they ever had anything taken out of them. And as you all know, I got a Yoga Flame for $250 from them. So they were good for something for a short time anyway. But now the 2 units that I know they have there, the Pac-Man Deluxe and the Mortal Kombat 2, they just look beat to all hell. And they got a sticker on them that says they want $350 for them, and I just laughed. So there's no way I'm paying $350 for those. So for $350, I can go to Arcade 1-Up's website and get it new and shipped to me. So, but I have Mortal Kombat on the Joust back there. So do I really need the cabinet with the artwork? I kind of do, but as we all know, last week on Arcades Anonymous, it was mentioned that that's some pretty crappy artwork, or one of the Arcade Anonymous folks mentioned that he did not like the Mortal Kombat artwork. That's interesting you mentioned that, Gramps. So people have asked me the same question. What am I doing with my Glintendo? The Glintendo that I'm getting is, and I think I talked about this on stream a couple weeks ago, but my intentions with that are Donkey Kong Jr. artwork. So that'll be a Donkey Kong Jr. skinned cabinet. And for G.I. Joel's cabinet, I'm going to actually skin that as a Popeye. So I'm a big Popeye fan too. So I'm really looking forward for both cabinets, really. And I think G.I. Joel's gonna come out with some announcement soon, I think. Okay. I'm sorry I wasn't better prepared for you guys. No, I'm doing Donkey Kong Jr. for Glenn's Glintendo cabinet, the FU edition. You're doing it for G.I. Joel's? Isn't that how I interpreted that? So G.I. Joel's is going to be a Popeye, and Glenn's 19-inch Glintendo unit is going to be a Donkey Kong Jr. for me. That's how that's going to shake out for me. All right. Should we do it? Or should we just call it? I got nothing else better to do. I mowed the grass on Thursday after work. So I don't even have my cell phone camera together. Oh, what the hell? Of course, I have to mic up. I love spending time with you guys. All I would do if I shut things down now is I would go play some games, and then I'd go upstairs, maybe spend a little time in VR. Let's see. Where's my audio? Let's change the mic source here. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yep. All right. I'm talking. It's a little different to switch over to the wireless mic. I'm going to turn on the house lights here. I'm going to get my mic or my cell phone camera together. Again, I'm not prepared today. Got a lot of space in here now. I do need, the other reason I'd buy a Mortal Kombat, maybe, is to fill out this arcade better. I like having stuff that, yeah, you guys are probably saying, why buy it if you're not going to play it? Well, I'll play it. I would buy it just to fill out the arcade. All right. Phone to make sure I'm on the wireless message. You people are sending me messages while I'm on stream. I'll read them later. NDI source. There it is. And let's get the camera mounted. All right. Turn on the NDI source. And there we go. Yep. All right. So you can't really see it because this is kind of close. But the two cabs I have left to do for this mod are the Tempest and the joust. So I think I'm going to start with the joust because that one's I'm going to have to do the most work getting that out because it's kind of tight between this middle section here of cabinets, and I'll turn them both off. I'll take the tray off here. By the way, these are on Amazon. Maybe I'll find a link later. But these little shelves, and I know there was a gentleman in the community that actually made these shelves that could go on top of Arcade 1-Up. So you could put whatever you want up there. I use them to put LED remotes on. So, all right. So the goal of this project is the lit LED that you see, the riser panel LED. The goal is that's powered by a brick right now into an outlet. So I want to get away from that. So we're going to remove the brick, and then we're going to route power to a Y splitter to actual Arcade 1-Up power. So let's pull this unit out and make sure I'm not pulling any cables. Yeah, I am. Disconnect the Arcade 1-Up power. Disconnect the LED. So we'll take the joust cabinet. You guys, I know there's a lot of riser hatred out there, but the reason why I love them is because they're easy. It's easier to move the cabinet around, I think. All right. So I'm going to get my headlamp so I can illuminate some things. Okay, so as you can see, the riser is still lit. If I bring this up, oh shit, I didn't want to do that. All right, so just looking down here, I don't know if you can see that or not. I need my glasses on. Yeah, you can't really see it in this view. So off to the left there is the brick, and it's leading to a to the LED strip that's on the front riser panel. Screwdriver, where's my screwdriver? There it is. Again, it's a mess down here. I kind of broke the screws here. All right, I got to be gentle with that. So we'll move the camera back. And let's do that. Okay. So I actually got a longer power cord for this brick, but what I need to do is unplug the riser, frees up another power port or outlet for another something else. So yeah, this is the brick. So what I'm going to do is basically flip this upside down. And I'm going to take the brick off. Okay. All right, so here's the port for where the brick connected to. So what I'm going to do is connect a 3-foot cable. But before I do that, I need to drill some holes. So brick, don't need the brick anymore. The brick is extra parts, and I just throw it in a bin over here. Now I have 4 bricks there. So I need to get my drill. Let's see. Okay, so let me. I'm going to turn this. See, I can kind of see where I'm going with this. Okay, so the way that's orientated right now, the front of the riser is on the ground. It's on the floor. So what I need to do is I need to route the cable to here. So I'm going to go with a hole, and I have to see where the where the LED strip cables are here. Just make sure that I'm not hitting the cable. In fact, I did this on the last cabinet I did. I just loosened the cable or freed it from the connector or the cable guide here so that I wouldn't hit it with the drill. So I'm going to drill a hole right here, and feed the 3-foot cable through here and connect it here. So let's do that. And I'm going to kind of feel. So kind of, I'm going to feel where my cable guide is, so I'm not hitting that. And then I pick a spot. Not quite through. There, that's a big enough hole. All right, now, so you can kind of see the mess it makes. And before I even move it, I'm going to get my vacuum, my shop vac. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. I mean, if you have a better way that you want to route your cables, by all means do it. This is how I'm doing it. This is just to give an idea or put an idea in somebody's head who has a riser and has lit their risers from Tulsa Arcades to eliminate the power brick. I gotta check the chat. Big B, I will see if I can't find that for you. Stock Jock, that's a good idea too. Powered USB hub. All right. Okay, so I have my hole. And we're going to have to drill another hole in the center of the G panel in the actual cab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reroute this cable back through its holder. You've all seen my previous streams on putting these on. So, you know, the LED strip comes with a bunch of these cable guides. Now I'm not going to be able to get that stupid cable back in there. Get in the hole, she said. Come on. There we go. All right. Now I need a 3-foot cable. Pong pub table is getting a lot of work just holding up stuff. It's starting to look messy. Okay. All right, so we've got our 3-foot cable here. So we're going to route it through. And attach it. I need to put another cable guide in. It's not making me very happy the way that's just loose in there. So I got plenty of these from previous packages that I've bought. These cable guides also come with the LED strips that I use to decorate the backs of these arcades. All right, so I'm going to put a cable guide right there. I probably should have put it the other way. And then I'm just going to route it through there. All right, so I've made the power connection here to the LED strip that's for the panel, and I've routed the cable through the hole I just drilled, okay? So this thing's upside down right now, so we're going to flip it. And so it's going to come up through the center here. So let's go ahead and open up the joust. I'm going to turn the camera there. So we need to open this up first. All right. So the panel is open. And we're going to disconnect. Oh, yes, this is a monitor replacement I did. So we'll gently, so you guys can see, that's I've got a Buy Stuff Arcade's monitor replacement in there. So they actually gave me this board. I should probably try to take that off as part of the monitor, which I didn't need. So just a straight PCB to Buy Stuff Arcade's monitor. All right, so we've removed the Arcade 1-up power from the back panel. And what we need to do is we need to drill a hole right about where that green sticker is that goes through the cabinet. It's going to be big enough, so screw it. This is a crappy drill because it loses power very easily. All right, so we've drilled our hole through the cabinet. All right, so that 3-foot cable that's coming up from the riser is going to go through that hole. And while we're at it, we could put in our tighten things up here. Sorry about the jerkiness of the camera. We could put in our Y splitter right away. So we have our Y splitter. And one end, like I said, one end goes into the PCB, which is right there. Okay. And then Arcade 1-up power will go right here. And then the 3-foot cable will attach here. So we need to get the unit back up on the, actually, let's disconnect the Arcade 1-up power for the time being. I'm going to take the panel and set it aside. All right. All right. So what I basically did is put the unit back up on the riser. So we need to feed the cable up through the hole. I don't know if I left enough room for me to do that. I need to basically gently tilt this forward, grab the cable, find the end, and feed it up through the hole. So as you can see, there's no way I'm reaching the Y splitter. too short. There's no way I'm getting there. So I'm going to have to attach another 3-foot cable. So I had to use 2 of these. So like I said, I don't know if DIY Retro makes longer cables or not. Maybe he does, and I don't need to do this, but I've had to put several orders in. He's probably asking himself, why is he ordering so many of these? And then I'm connecting the 3-foot or the 2 3-foot cables, the cable coming from the riser into the Y splitter. On one cabinet, I actually wrapped it around here to pick up or organize this length better. What I could do there is basically take the twist tie that came with it. In this instance, and just pick up the slack so it doesn't look so messy. Okay, that's better. You can't really see it. So again, so here's the Y splitter. One end's going to the PCB. The other end's going to the cable going down into the riser. This is where the Arcade 1-Up power is going to be, right here. I know you guys probably didn't see that. Y splitter, one end to the PCB, the other end going to the riser power, this going to the Arcade 1-Up. All right, so we'll plug in the Arcade 1-Up power. And we'll go ahead and put the back panel back on. What the hell? There we go. Joust is one of my favorite cabinets that they did because I love the artwork. Yes, I'm confident this will work. That's why I'm not really all too worried. And the other thing, by doing this mod, because running that cable, the power brick cable underneath the riser, you run the risk of dragging it or ripping it out of the front LED or crimping a wire, whatever. I mean, it's just better to do it this way. That way you can move the cabinet easier. Yeah, turn the cabinet and get it back into place. So, sorry I'm not catching up on the chat because Hockey Town, yes, the Joust Cab does have the MK games. That's why I'm not too worried about buying the Joust Cab or the MK2 cabinet on sale at Arcade 1-Up. Again, the only reason I'd buy it is just to have another cab with different artwork to fill out my space. It's a nice problem to have, right? I mean, if I do have an arcade budget. My budget before I did the stream here today And my arcade budget's in good shape. I'm just kind of sitting on it, just being not being frugal so much, but just being picky, I guess would be the right word, about my purchases. All right, so we're going to plug in the LED, and then we'll apply the arcade 1-up power. And the riser panel should have come on. Yes, I see power. All right, the only thing I got to worry about is moving this thing back into place, not crimping any wires. Take a peek back there and make sure. Still good. And we'll turn the cabinet on. All right, so you can see the riser panel is lit now because it's feeding power off of the arcade 1-up power. Again, this is one of the cabs that you don't have lit coin doors. I got to do that mod. So Stock Jock, thank you so much for helping me out there. And I do have power to the marquee and to the riser and the game, obviously. And this has always been a sticky point with me. I actually emailed Arcade 1-up about this. Because it defaults to Mortal Kombat. So if I did nothing and I allowed it to time out and go into the demo mode, it would pull up Mortal Kombat. Or no, when it defaults to the game that it's programmed for, it defaults to Mortal Kombat. It should default to Joust, but it doesn't. So I have to set it. Mod done. So I don't know if my drill has enough power to finish off the Tempest. So I probably won't do it. But that's the last cabinet I have to do. And then all of my lit riser panel cabinets will be feeding off arcade 1-up power instead of their own bricks. So it's a good mod to do, I think, just to simplify the power situation in back of these things. I do want to get one for Star Wars. So I'm going to hit JC up over at Tulsa Arcades for a Star Wars lit panel for my Star Wars. Again, I don't have a coin door on this one. This is a Gen 1 Star Wars. So, and then that's the last riser cab I had. Well, sorry for the camera, but I do have the riser with the custom art from Buy Stuff Arcades for the Space Invaders T2 mod. Again, there's a video up on if you all want to know about this T2 Space Invaders mod that I did, there's a whole video I put together on it. Probably one of the more complex videos I ever did. So, but those are the only two panels I have left, are this and the Star Wars. So I might see what JC can do as far as it'd have to be a T2 size, because we all know that the T2 risers are bigger than the standard arcade 1-up riser. So it'd have to be a custom panel with custom artwork on it. Let's see if he can hit me or hook me up for that. And I talked about the Snoopy clock. Since I have this camera mobile right now, there's the Snoopy clock. So right next to my 4KP, as you can see. So that's the clock I got from Menards. So yeah. I'll just kind of set this here. Another camera view. So that's that mod. Same thing will go for the Tempest. And as I said, my drill, I do it I'd do it on the stream if my drill had power, but since it's being a bitch, I'm going to plug it in. I really do need to look into getting a new drill. All right, the drill's plugged in. Maybe we'll do that next weekend, or maybe I'll just do it this week off stream. I'll go ahead and turn the arcade one up back on. Oh, sorry. So this is my tanks or my xArcade setup. Danny had asked if it was a TV mounted on the wall. No, it's not mounted on the wall. You can see the tripod that I have there. I have another one of these tripods and another TV, which is doing nothing right now, basically. But I have the xArcade here. And this is where I stand to do VR pinball. So when I'm wearing the headset, I'm standing in front of this and playing the VR pinball. I have a little tray attached to the tripod where all the stuff is held. So my RetroPie box. There's also another controller there if I need it. And then I have, I also have, well, actually the Roku is down on the floor right now, but right now, all that's there is the RetroPie that I have. That's running this. Right now, it's running Wizard of War. So definitely an awesome box. All right. Yeah, Big B, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Gotham's here. Welcome, Gotham. I'm about ready to get to sign off. I was going to do both mods to finish off my risers, but the drill is out of juice. Oh, that ain't the only thing, Stock Jock. All right, let me put this on stream. So let's see if it'll focus. There it is. So yeah, you guys see that was from when I had the two other black lights on the expanded side of the arcade. I hit my nail. So yeah, that's been like that for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's been that shade. It's not reduced any. It's stayed that way. So what I did the other day on my middle finger, and it probably won't come through too well on the stream here. I actually slammed one of my cupboard doors, which is in the wall. So it's one of those sliding doors, cupboard doors that goes back into the wall. Well, I went and it closed too quickly, and my fingers were still wrapped around the side of the door, and boom, right against the door jamb. So my middle finger, my gal will attest to this. I was screaming bloody murder when that happened, but thankfully nothing under the nail. No, I'm not giving you guys the middle finger. It's just a nice light shade of purple, that middle finger right now, and it still feels kind of tender. But yeah, home arcading can be a dangerous game. It really can. I just need to be more careful. Oh, I did not talk about Superman yet. Let's talk movies to wind things up today. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna give you my thoughts on F1. F1 is an amazing movie. It's paced well. A lot of action, a lot of on-track action. I'm big, as you guys know, I'm a big racing fan, so I got to get a drink. Excuse me. I don't have a cough or mute button right now because my Stream Deck is configured for voice meter, and I don't use voice meter anymore. So yeah, F1, amazingly paced, well acted. All the actors chosen for that movie were awesome. All the on-track stuff, the cinematography in that movie is just amazing. So I highly recommend F1. If you've not seen it, go see it. Okay, you'll like it. Even if you're a remote racing fan, it's a good movie. It's a good vehicle for Brad Pitt, and I would love to see a sequel to this movie. I really would. And they're talking about Tom Cruise being involved as his character from Days of Thunder. Brad Pitt's kind of excited about the idea. He wants to see if he can make it work. He wants the story to be around some kind of beef that him and Tom Cruise's character from Days of Thunder had in the early days of their racing careers. So I think that would be a story I would love to see. So if they could get Tom Cruise involved in a sequel, I'm totally there. Even if they don't get Tom Cruise on board for a sequel, whatever the next story they come up with Brad Pitt's character, I'm down for. I'd love to see it. So highly recommend F1. All right, now let's talk about Superman. If you've paid any attention to some of the online reviewers, I'm going to switch back over to my if I find mic. Sing 1, 2, 3. Yep. If you've paid any attention to the online reviews of Superman, people are trying to shoot this movie down. Okay. It's pretty blatantly obvious to me. And yeah, there's going to be some people that truly do not like this movie. Because let's face it, every iteration of Superman is different. We get different methods of telling the storyline. The whole storyline of Henry Cavill's Superman was a dark, brooding story. It was told in a darker way. This Superman kind of harkens back to its comic book roots. That's my opinion. Whether you agree with me or not, I don't know, but that's my opinion. This version of Superman harkens more back towards its comic book roots. And I will tell you, the one criticism, and my gal has the same criticism after we watched Superman yesterday, is it's just so busy. There's so much going on. Superman's getting his ass kicked from left to right throughout the whole movie. Okay. But that, and people are even criticizing the fact that Superman's getting his ass kicked. He's Superman. He shouldn't be getting his ass kicked. There are forces out there that can harm Superman, even in the comics. And there are things that can harm Superman. And those things are brought to bear on screen in this movie. The movie is fast paced. You have to pay attention in order to remember things. And so the story is good. I think it's a good, solid story that they tell. I like the people that David Cornsweet is a great Superman. I will say that now. He will be behind Christopher Reeve for me as decent Superman. Maybe behind Henry Cavill a little bit. I did like Henry Cavill as Superman. I thought he was a great Superman. But right now, it goes from Christopher Reeve to David Cornsweet to Henry Cavill. And then you got all your TV iterations of Superman and all that, but I won't include them here. The other movie Superman, the guy that went on to do the CW series Legends of Tomorrow, I forget his name. He was okay, but I'd still put him behind Henry Cavill, definitely. But yeah, the movie is great. It's a fun movie. It's very fast paced. I was able to keep up pretty well. My gal fell behind, and so she's not big into superhero movies anyway. So You're correct. They be me. No one does touch Christopher Reeve. He will always be my number one Superman. So, but I didn't quite understand the post credit. There's two post credit scenes in this movie. One is, I don't know why they did it, but it's kind of a beautiful picture. I would love to get a still shot of the first post credit scene. That'd be a great poster, I think. And then the one at the end of the credits was just more there for humor. It wasn't. It didn't really lead you into something else that's happening in the universe or anything. So, do you really need to stick around for the post credit scenes? No. I liked it because I like listening to the music. And let's talk about the score for a second. I'm a part of many soundtrack groups on Facebook. I'm a soundtrack collector. That's one of the things I do outside of the home arcade community. I'm a big soundtrack collector, have been since the early 70s or mid 70s. There's a lot of references to John Williams' original score for Superman in this. And I think that is a wise decision. Why? Because John Williams' score for Superman is Superman's theme. Okay? Whatever iteration of Superman you're going to do, it's fine if you want to do your own music, your own take on the music, but you've got to have that Superman theme integrated somehow. And they made the wise choice of doing that here. So I'm very happy about what they did with the score. The score has a mixture of pop music or has a mixture of pop music and score. I think that's a great balance. And there's some humorous moments with the score too, I think. I won't give them away, but I'm buying the album basically, the soundtrack album, because I think it's worthy enough for me to have in my collection. So, score's good. The pace, the direction, I think was excellent. James Gunn, we all know James Gunn, how well he did on the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. There's been some complaints online about the humor and misplaced humor in certain scenes. I didn't get that at all. I really didn't. So I didn't get the humor, or I didn't get the complaints about the humor in certain places. I thought it was well done. Um, um, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luger. Oh my God, did we ever get a mean ass Lex Luger in this movie? Okay, and he does such an amazing job at it. So I'm a big fan of Nicholas Hoult. I loved his work in X-Men, in the X-Men movies as Beast. So the Lex Luger that we're getting is really, really good in this movie. So love that, and I love his hatred for Superman, because I think it comes through more than any iteration of Lex Luger that we've seen on screen to date. So he's great. He's another reason to go see that movie. David Cornsweet, I've already mentioned, excellent as Superman. Let's see what else. The Lois Lane. I don't know her name. I don't know her name off the top of my head. Oh, Luther. Thank you, Aki. See, Alzheimer's. Yeah, it's coming, probably. Lex Luthor. Yeah, I'll be clipped for that, probably. Who knows? Nobody, I'm not worthy of being clipped yet by the big YouTubers. All right, guys. Lex Luthor, yes, is amazing. But I did watch WCW back in the day, so yes, I know who Lex Luger is. And one of my artworks just fell. I got to redo that off stream. The gal who played Lois kind of reminded me of the original gal that played Lois. And again, brain fart. Margot Kidder. Just in general looks. Just in overall looks. The gal they picked to let's Google her. Rachel Brosnahan, the gal they picked. She looks like to be a natural brown-haired or blonde, brown-haired, more brown-haired person in real life, but they put they made her hair black to fill the role of Lois, but she kind of looks like Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. She was fierce, relentless, even to Clark Kent or Superman, and she kind of makes you think, man, if real reporters these days were like her, things would be all right. She asks questions, and that's kind of what I thought of it. Another complaint I have about this movie, I probably shouldn't talk about it because it'll give away a moment in the movie, and I don't want to wreck it for you guys. There's a moment in the latter half of the movie where a character comes on. Oh, it's towards the end of the movie where another character comes on. It involves the dog. It involves Superman in the Fortress of Solitude. Some of you who have seen the movie know what I'm talking about. Don't give it away for those that haven't seen the movie. And I'm like, what the hell? Now, I'm not totally 100% familiar with the Superman comics, but I don't know the direction that they took this character is actually correct. But I will say it was a totally unnecessary moment. Maybe, yeah, to explain further things with the dog, maybe. I was just that put me off and made me go, what the hell was that we just saw? My gal agrees with that too. So you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. And those of you that have seen the movie probably already know what I'm talking about. It was just a moment that just wasn't needed. So, oh, did Phil spoil it? I haven't seen his take on the movie yet. Well, if you're gonna watch Phil's movie, fine, or Phil's video, fine, but I won't spoil. I don't want to give away any spoilers. I will just say, overall, did they, Ted? Okay, great. So Ted says they had a recent popular comic with that character in that direction. Okay, fine. So he pulled that out of a recent comic. I don't know. I think that character should be a strong character like Superman. So I don't agree with that. Yeah, same thing, Ted. Wholeheartedly agree. So overall, and some of you guys gave ratings scores of the movie out of 10. I will give it an 8 out of 10 as well. It's good. Don't let the online reviewers take you out of this movie. Go see it. Support it. It's good. It's a good movie. My number one criteria for a movie greatness is was I entertained? Was I entertained after I walked out of this movie? Yes, 100%. It's a popcorn-worthy movie. It's a take your gal to see movie. Definitely. It's a fun time. Go see it. Don't listen to everybody else. Make your own decisions. Okay, that's what I do. When a critic says, "Oh my God, this movie is so," I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan of the Critical Drinker. You all know who he is. Check out his YouTube videos, his YouTube movie reviews. Critical Drinker is a great reviewer, in my opinion. I wholeheartedly disagree sometimes with him, but I have to watch his content because I want to see his take. But I still go see movies. I won't not go see a movie because of what he says or what any online reviewer says. But I still like to see their takes. Another trusted reviewer I use is Jeremy Johns. Look him up on YouTube as well. He actually liked Superman, but Critical Drinker did not. Neither did Ryan Cannell. So don't trust the reviewers. Go see the movie for yourself. Make your own decision. And if it's a crap movie, don't buy it when it comes out on home streaming. Superman, I will definitely add to my Superman collection. So, yeah, my gal loves Critical Drinker. He's just hilarious. And, you know, that line he says at the end after every video, hilarious. So, but I disagree with him on this movie. I do. I enjoyed it. So go see it. That's my take on Superman. All right, we're going to wrap it up. It's been over 2 hours. I've tied up your Sundays, the last day before the work week starts. Already too much. I'll see you again next week. Let me go full screen here again. I'll see you guys next week, as always, and we'll do something else. Maybe I'll buy an arcade one up between now and then. Who knows? Maybe. I haven't done a build in a while. It's getting kind of bad, but we all know whose fault that is. That's Arcade 1-Up's fault. So it'll be fun to actually do a build sometime soon. But guys, I say this every week. I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. I hope you have a good and safe week ahead of you. Stay safe out there. Don't work too hard. And I'll see you guys next week. So as I always say every week, always remember, I got next.